What if I told you the reason your grocery bills are skyrocketing, your mortgage feels unmanageable, and your savings are shrinking isn't just inflation? What if I told you it all traces back to a single, narrow waterway, and that the powers controlling it have been secretly gaming the entire global economy for decades? Yes, the Suez Canal. A strip of water 120 miles long, connecting the Mediterranean to the Red Sea. On the surface, it's a trade shortcut. In reality, it's a financial pressure point. What if the delays, the shipping fees, the crises you've read about weren't just accidents? What if they were orchestrated by shadowy financial networks, using the canal like a lever to manipulate trillions of dollars? Today, you feel the effects in every checkout line and on every fuel bill. The story you've been told about global trade being market-driven is incomplete at best. And the truth? It's worse than you think. So before we dive deeper, where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. And hit subscribe to make sure you never miss the unfiltered truth. Because by the end of this video, you'll see how a single shipping lane secretly writes the rules of the world as money and your life. Let's rewind. The Suez Canal opened in 1869, hailed as a marvel of engineering. Steamships could now cut weeks off the journey from Europe to Asia. Governments and empires cheered. But here's the part history books rarely highlight, almost immediately. Financiers realized that control over the canal meant control over global trade flows and, by extension, control over money itself. A variation of this control was seen during World War II. The Allies and Axis powers fought not just for territory, but for shipping lanes. Delays, blockades, even strategic accidents translated directly into economic pressure on populations thousands of miles away. A variation of this pattern emerged again in the 1973 oil crisis. OPEC's embargo didn't just spike energy prices, it triggered stock market crashes, inflation, and currency realignments. Every disruption amplified debt, enriched speculators, and redistributed wealth. Fast forward to today. Container ships still move along this same corridor. But now the stakes are financial, not just physical. A variation of historical patterns persists in modern derivatives markets and shadow banking systems. When a ship is delayed, contracts are triggered. When a blockade occurs, liquidity shifts. The same tools that once determined empires now determine trillion-dollar derivatives, currency swaps, and credit default swaps. By linking the past to the present, you can see the recurring truth. Control over a narrow canal equals control over global wealth, and this isn't theory. It's been quietly tested, proven, and weaponized again and again. Here's where it gets wild. Behind the visible chaos blocked ships, surging freight costs, oil price spikes, there is a carefully hidden decision-making process. A network of central banks, hedge funds, and shadow financial institutions collectively monitor every Suez Canal schedule. Every delay, every tug-of-war over docking rights, every accidental incident is logged in real time, feeding algorithms that can anticipate, manipulate, and profit from market panic. This is where the conspiracy deepens. It's not just about trade, it's about liquidity. By controlling shipping timing, these actors engineer temporary scarcity in goods, which ripples into currency markets, bond markets, and stock exchanges worldwide. Trillions of dollars in derivatives are triggered. Interest rates shift subtly, and governments scramble to respond, all while private institutions collect staggering profits. And the mastermind behind these operations? You won't believe the name. Or rather, the receipt is wilder than you think. It involves a mix of retired intelligence officers, rogue central bank economists, and shadow traders whose identities are hidden behind layers of offshore trusts and shell companies. These are not accidents. They are precision-engineered crises, designed to make the global financial system dance to a single hidden rhythm. By the time the public reacts, the money has already moved. And this is just one shipping route. So how does this actually work? Let's break it down. Imagine the Suez Canal as a giant switchboard for trillions of dollars. A delayed ship carrying $1 billion of electronics doesn't just affect supply chains. It triggers derivative contracts, bets on the price of goods, futures, and currency swaps worth $150 billion. That's the scale we're talking about. In 2021, a single container ship blockage, the Ever Given, halted $9 billion of trade per day. But here's the deeper twist. Shadow liquidity networks anticipated the blockage and had pre-positioned trades that made them $1.2 billion in profits in just 1 week. Greed, illusion, and moral hazard converge in these moments. Consider 2016. A minor delay in a Mediterranean shipping route caused cascading price changes in European natural gas markets, manipulating derivatives worth over $400 million. Or the 2008 financial crisis. Shipping interruptions amplified by engineered liquidity squeezes added hundreds of billions to already inflated mortgage-backed securities losses. It's not hypothetical. Over $3 trillion in shadow banking instruments globally are directly sensitive to global trade disruptions. And these networks have been quietly practicing for decades, using smaller accidents to test algorithms, stress governments, and ensure that every engineered delay creates cascading chaos and profit. Parasitic finance thrives here. The system is designed for collapse, engineered to harvest panic, and guaranteed to make the masses pay while the few walk away richer. Every container that moves, every crane that lifts, every ship that stalls is part of a mechanical, financial predator system. The truth is urgent. The modern financial system moves faster and more globally than ever. A single shipping delay can ripple through credit markets in New York, currency swaps in London, and commodity prices in Shanghai in real time. The next engineered collapse won't take weeks, it will take hours. And when it hits, no central bank can bail it out without further feeding the system that created it. Denial is humanity's deadliest tool. We trust institutions built on borrowed time. Governments claim transparency while private shadow networks pull invisible levers, turning every crisis into an opportunity to extract wealth. The permanent consequence? An economic ecosystem rigged to make ordinary people indebted, insecure, and dependent while the orchestrators grow exponentially richer. The Suez Canal is just the tip of the iceberg. Its control reveals the blueprint for global financial domination. And make no mistake, the next accident will not be random. It will be a test, a squeeze, a reminder that someone, somewhere, is playing chess with your money while you watch the pieces fall. So share your skepticism. Comment below, where are you watching from and how do you feel about this hidden system? Subscribe for more unfiltered truths. Question everything. And remember, the global economy isn't broken, it's being steered. Are you going to keep watching passively or start seeing the strings?